In a fandom that has millions of people, it is bound to cause controversy and conflicts to happen. It is unavoidable when a fandom or any group of people becomes large. And oh boy, there's a lot of drama in the furry fandom. So I made a tier list going over well-known furry dramas to shortly explain the history and story behind it. And I will rate how bad it is. I will also quickly mention that this video was directly inspired from someone called Bug that did a tier list similar to this video. I usually don't blatantly steal ideas from people, but because this was uploaded 2 years ago, I thought I would do it instead, which I may expand in the future. So I will explain the rules and how I rate this. 1. It has to be well known. I won't include some random dramas on Twitter or Discord or something like that. It has to be quite a significant amount of people that knew about it. 2. No drama that is ongoing or unclear, since I can't voice an opinion about it and I would basically be more seen as involving myself in something that doesn't have an end yet. 3. It has to be a person or a group of people. 4. Nothing political unless it is something actually extreme, like no German, far-right extremism, far-left extremism, hate groups, terrorism, and etc. So, moving on to the tiers. At tier 1, innocent. Innocent tier are for the people that have been either falsely accused of something or been unfairly bullied or harassed for something they don't deserve. In tier 2, we have the controversial tier. In this subject is in a grey area. There's a lot of debate and uncertainty since there are no clear moral right answer here. Well, according to me at least. And this is the hardest one for me since I would very likely at least piss off one person here. In tier 3, you did an oopsie. So here we have the first tier, like we can all agree what the person did is bad, but they have either rightfully apologized or it was not a big deal to begin with. So let's just move on from the past mistakes. Tier 4, why? Oh boy, here we come to the first tier I think is a big no-no. I think they have questionable morals and deserve criticism. And I think what they're doing is bad, but I don't think it's that bad they don't deserve to be treated like a normal person. This is just more of a warning to not go any further. Tier 5, absurd. At this point I think it's acceptable for people to call that person a prick for what they did. But this person did is unacceptable and they should definitely apologize for what they did. Just admit your wrongdoings and move on. It is that simple. Tier 6. Oh yeah, at this point I consider these people as bad. This is similar to absurd, but the main difference is that this is repeated bad actions. People overwhelmingly voice criticism and disapproval, but you still do it and refuse to listen. Redemption is possible, but you better not do a Logan Paul that pretends to have become a better person. Tier 7. Awful. At this point, they are not only bad, but an actual awful person. They have done really bad stuff to even immoral criminal behavior. I consider these people as narcissists, sociopaths, or something similar. But even then, it is still not impossible for redemption, but it better be a really good one and be a nice person forever. Tier 8. Evil. Congrats, they have gotten to the point they have done something so bad that I do not have any respect or tolerance left for these people. I do not want to see them on the internet, and it is better for everyone if they just leave and never come back, since these are the type of people that may also deserve to serve a prison sentence. Tier 9. Eternal darkness. This is the spot for the absolute worst and evil people you can imagine. The only thing they deserve at least is a life in prison. They have done something so bad that they are a danger to everyone, and if they're not punished rightfully for whatever corrupt or flawed broken justice system, they 100% should be. So let's start with our first person, YumiCH. YumiCH is an average furry artist on the internet. Her art is good, but the art style is not for me. Although she made a comic called The Fate, which is about an adult art teacher falling in love with an 18-year-old teen student. This entire comic is basically an adult trying to take advantage of a barely legal teenage boy. You may say, like, there are many weird comics like this one, so what makes this one so special? This was uploaded on Webtoon, the site which has mostly early teenage girls. Yeah, I think you can already see the problem here. So a YouTuber called Black Like Jack that has covered many Webtoon comics got his attention of this comic. He basically made fun of it and criticized the comic for being on Webtoon, since this is an inappropriate comic to have on Webtoon for obvious reasons, because it is basically glorifying predator behavior, also taking advantage of an emotionally unstable teen and a toxic relationship.
You can tell by looking at the obnoxiously glossy art style and writing that's trying way too hard to rip off basic bitch anime cliches. This is a comic that's gonna glamorize predators taking advantage of vulnerable kids.
And he said if this was on a more mature rated website, he wouldn't care to begin with. It is just the fact it is on Webtoon, nothing more to it, he said. But YumiCH discovered this video and she didn't like the video. Instead of doing the rational thing to ignore the video or try to talk with Jack, she instead did the worst thing to do to our creator, which is using the broken YouTube copyright system to falsely take down his video video, which also made him get a strike on his channel.
What's up boys, Blacklight Jack here, and I think I made somebody upset today.
She had no legal rights to do this, since what Jack was doing falls under fair use. But because of how broken the copyright system on YouTube is, there's not much Jack could do to counter this. So he made a response video to this entire situation, which YumiCH in the entire time was in a delusional ego trip, to think she was in the right and that she was the victim. And she also asked her fans on VK to mass report his channel. VK is basically Russian Facebook, what I can say. So because of all of this, the only thing she did was to create even more negative attention for herself and made this entire thing even more bigger than it was, which also made other creators cover it. And yes, even to this day, she has not apologized, her comic is still up on Webtoon that still get new pages, and she also still believes to this day she was in the right and is the victim. Yeah, this was an absolutely a dick move to do. It's an example of someone that can't accept criticism. You go to absurd. Now we have Ruben Sim, the only non-furry so far on the list. Oh boy, here we have an example of when the furry fandom is being plain not stupid. So Ruben Sim is a Roblox content creator that mainly focuses on Roblox problem with child exploitation. Ruben Sim has quite a negative and biased view against furries, which he had quite a while, but came to a breaking point when he got himself to this drama was when he made a video about ranking players on Roblox, where he put furries together with Europeans, like implying we are the same level as them. Well, I do get why he thinks this way, since the furry fandom is notoriously naughty, and which the majority is into. Don't try to claim the majority aren't, since we are. I also agree with many of his points, and I can understand his perspective to a certain extent. So can you really blame him putting furries so low? But I do think it was quite disingenuous to put furries on the same level with people that are exclusively doing only ERP. I think that is quite far-fetched, which obviously shows he has a bias. So because of all of this, how do you think furries responded? So instead of responding respectfully and trying to explain things to him, they instead insult, lie, talk about irrelevant things, doxing, even death threats, and just generally act on emotion rather than logical thinking. Great job guys, that would definitely convince Ruben to change his mind. Of course Ruben deserved criticism, and if it was done well, I think furries could even be the ones that turn it around to their advantage even. But nope, instead they just feed this perspective Ruben has about furries to support his point. Man, you people need to understand that many people don't like us, and something we just have to accept. And pointless arguments like this won't change anything. So Ruben goes to controversial tier. He has not done anything bad, he's just a guy that has a negative view on furries, and he's allowed to express those opinions. But before I move on to the next person, I will leave one critique to Ruben in the case he watches this for whatever reason. I think if Ruben spoke with a more friendly tone, worded things differently, and tried to be more understanding, I think this drama would probably never happen, since he came out seen as aggressive and insulting. I think the way he spoke about furries was just so unnecessary. Like he says, 95% of furries watch porn, and there's a 5% chance that person is not a creepy weirdo. Instead of saying like, hey furries, I think your community has a problem, because I have concerns for this reason, etc. Which makes me think that right now, you people are not appropriate in Roblox. So I'm going to put you this low for this reason. Ruben, if you simply search for how many consume corn and how much fans only creators make, you will find out there are many people you would consider as creepy weirdos. Of course, porn addiction is real. I talked about it in my last video, but you shouldn't refer to people that may have an addiction problem as a creepy weirdo. Historically speaking, that has not worked out well. Anyway, this won't be a critique video of Ruben Sim, nor do I plan to in the future, since I just think it is much more important right now for the fandom to focus on the problems than defending it. Anyway, let's move on. K-Line. K-Line is a Japanese kimono fursuit company. Kimono is the term the Japanese use to describe furries. And yes, I'm going to include corporations in this. But what K-Line does to get into this controversy is because of their very strict terms of service. What K-Line does is that they create a character you can buy from them and also get a suit. But what you actually buy from them is basically just a license. You are only allowed to do what they say under their strict TOS. In their TOS, you are not allowed to act certain ways, no 3D avatars, no VTubing, not allowed to change your character, not allowed to use it to earn money. If you want to do some kind of certain thing, you need to contact K-Line first for the approval. And if you break any of their rules, they will literally send you an email to stop what you're doing, or on Twitter they will publicly call you out on their quality control account to stop what you're doing with their character and suit, even for the smaller things. And they also claim they will confiscate your character and your suit if you break their TOS. Okay, how are they even supposed to do that? I don't know how laws works and all, but assuming they legally can do this domestically in Japan, how are they exactly supposed to do that overseas in other countries which have different types of laws? They don't give out specific reason why they're doing this. I can understand the concern when someone is submerged underwater, but someone just has latex on themselves with a fuzzy head, like why bother? I know it has to do something with Japanese culture and all, but come on, even for that excuse, isn't this a bit too ridiculous? It reminds me a bit of Ninja Sanji insane control over their VTubers. Anyway, why K-Line? Just why? I put on why because I see this as a wrong thing to do, but it is their choice and rules to do so. And if that is how they want to have it, that is on them. So if you want to buy something from K-Line for whatever reason, you better play by their ridiculous rules, or you know, just simply buy from another Japanese fursuit makers. I just want to quickly mention that most of the footage was taken from since I couldn't find the materials by myself for the video. So if you want to know the full story, then I recommend watching this video. Ah yes, Pyrocynical. Well, here we have another well-known case. I think most of you know who Pyro is. I don't think he needs much of an introduction really. Pyro got himself into a drama when it started with someone called Ivory, that was 15 at the time, claiming that Pyro has groomed him to furry ERP, and basically it's like saying Pyro is a PDF, that he knew his age all the time and took advantage of him. This made YouTubers pick up on this story, and Ivory also got interviewed and had a hard time to explain how he exactly got groomed.
How were you groomed?
I was
because you don't need to be groomed for this to be wrong. I mean, is it really fair that you use the word grooming? And if that's true, if you feel that's true, where was this going?
I'm not like, I don't know. I was in a call with my friend when I like typed it out, and I typed like, I remember I typed that and asked like, is that okay?
Because it reads more like a YouTube like thumbnail. Do you honestly believe? Did you not understand the definition of the word?
I feel like it was like forcing or like manipulating a child into a like school situation.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's what that word means to me.
And then many commentary YouTubers covered this, believing that Pyro is a groomer, especially one certain individual. Pyro made a Google Doc which was going over the details to prove his innocence. But most people didn't believe him and still thinks he did inappropriate interaction with a minor. And the commentary YouTubers still like, nah, we don't believe you. He then started to lose subscribers because people thought that Pyro is a PDF, until he uploaded a video called My Response.
I'm going to use this video to address the allegations made against me. Recently, to those who are unaware, I've been accused of grooming a 15-year-old boy when I was 19. That I'm some kind of predator and was aware of his age all along. This is categorically untrue and a complete lie.
He confirmed that he was innocent and that he was irresponsible, that he should be smart enough asking about Ivory's age. He used many points to Google Doc he wrote to confirm he was innocent, which just shows many people don't have patience to read. And some people instead try to use the doc, twisting it to something else. Not cool, guys. Basically, afterwards, everything went back to normal, except that people make fun of Pyro liking fat furry art. I have questions, Pyro, but whatever. You may think I will put Pyro on innocent now. No, actually, he's innocent from being accused of being a PDF, but as he said on the video himself, it was irresponsible for him to not ask about Ivory's age, which I agree with. So he goes to you did an oopsie. Just an honest mistake I think anyone could realistically make, and also learn from that to not make the same mistake as him. Kothorix is probably a person you have heard about, if you are a person that has been a part of the fandom more like 5 years and have been around the drama scene on YouTube. He made videos about various different topics with very basic editing that would probably not work out that well today. He was actually the first furry I watched when I was a young teen. I don't remember much from him since I didn't understand proper English yet. I was in the middle of the learning phase, but I do absolutely remember one specific thing which I'm going to mention now. He made a video called In Defense of PDFs, and before anyone thinks, no, he's not defending PDFs. He's talking about we shouldn't just attack PDFs that have the thoughts of it and don't act on it and know it is wrong, which I agree with. Some people in this world are tragically born with feeling like that, and that must feel really horrible. If someone is a PDF that knows it is wrong and not acted on the urges, what that person needs is support and therapy to help them go to the right path. It is not their fault they were tragically born that way. But this video was just really badly made, and the most obvious one to point out is what the fuck is this title? What did go through your head to name your video like that? Why not name it like The Tragedy of Being a PDF? And some of the things he said on the video is just really oof.
Shouldn't the age that you are allowed to have sex be based on when you reach sexual maturity?
And this basically started a controversy and being memed on, and a harassment campaign against him, calling him a PDF, which he isn't. Looking back at it, I think it went a bit too far and a overreaction for people. He made a video and later admitted it was a mistake. If he had a different title and worded things he said differently, he would probably never been in this controversy to begin with. But this video is a good example of what you shouldn't do when talking about a very controversial topic. Koth is not a bad person, but he's going to be cursed with that forever. So he's going to "you did an oopsie." Wait, actually no, he goes actually to why. He made a video sometime later called "Why we should bring back child labor." Why did you make this video? I know it is obvious satire, but I don't think it's a good idea to post something like that when you're supposed to save your image from being a PDF. It just makes you look like you hate children, Koth. I can't wait for your next video in defense of child abuse.
Oh, no, I swear to God. Please. Oh my gosh. No. Bitch. Oh, Jesus Christ, Harold.
Well, where do I even begin with her? Well, this is also a well-known furry drama in the fandom. Kabier has such a long track record of controversy after controversy together with another person, which I think you know who it is. She just does bad stuff again and again and again. She's just quite insane, what I can say. Anyway, Kabier is a furry artist, and she's also one of the biggest ones too, and she's quite good at it. And that is something I can't deny. She's really good at it, but that doesn't excuse someone for being a jerk. But because there's just so much bad stuff she has done with another specific individual, I will just quickly mention many of those things. They made a funding page for a better living condition for $3,000, which turned out they bought an expensive dog breed instead, which they basically scammed people at the funding page. She was racist toward Sonic Fox. She was really toxic against a person for the time that just asked for paying rent. Free-for-all convention, narcissism, even more narcissism, and just generally much more. Just go watch videos about her, okay? There are already so much of them, so she goes to awful. Just a really obnoxious person. And also, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Fursona fix. It would be weird to only mention Kabier with Fursona. You can pretty much copy and paste from Kabier to Fursona, since whatever these two basically do together is connected. But I put him below Kabier in evil, and that's only because of one reason. He dated and groomed Kabier when she was 15 and Fursona was 21 at the time. And yeah, I think I don't need to say anything more there for my reason. By the way, while working on the video, I looked at what Kabier was doing today, and yeah, these two, they're doing fans only now. And the even more funnier thing is that I found Vexen Swift in the fucking comments gooning for them. Vexen Swift also has fair share of controversy. The biggest one is using cropped furry to attract an audience, and we know that most people that click on these videos are not adults, it is hormonal teenagers. But regardless, I'm quite certain that Vexen Swift is aware of the stuff they have done, but he's just like, nah, I'm about to go! If you're gonna be a gooner, maybe don't watch these two, you know? You are on the internet, there are many options you can choose from, because this just looks pathetic, man. Maybe you should learn to have a high standards, just saying. So if you know this one, you are almost certainly at least in your early 20s like me, or at least 18 or 19 or something. I do not believe anyone under 18 knows this one, so I had to dig deep on this one, since the information is limited. But this is my first furry drama I can remember, and I was even younger at that time, and my English knowledge was even less. But moving on. Rainy Chaos was our first YouTuber that hasn't uploaded since 4 years ago, and most of her videos have either been privated or deleted for some reason. So there are just a few of them. I tried to use web archives, go back in time, but no success there. But it did make me end up at Koth again as a source for this video while searching, so we meet again it seems. So Rainy Chaos ended up being a featured channel trending on YouTube main page back in 2017. Well, that is interesting that your entire channel back then could end up in YouTube main page. I did not remember that was a thing back then, but it is kinda insane to think about your entire channel could end up on YouTube main page. Anyway, well-known YouTuber Philip DeFranco got attention of this and made a tweet about it, and made scarce cover too, since it was seen as unusual on YouTube. Nothing negative or something, but she did get mass dislike and hateful comments on her videos and channel, which made her turn off the comments. And you may ask now, like, what did she do to get all of this negative attention? Nothing. She did nothing wrong at all. Yeah, it is an example of when the people on the internet are just being jerks. But I do get it. Most people don't want YouTube to support furry content on the main page, which majority are not interested in, which makes sense, but did these people really have to go to her channel to dislike and leave negative comments? Come on, it is not her fault. Like, looking at her content and what she does today, she just seems to be a really friendly and nice person. It is one of those cases that just makes you hate the internet, and that it can just be a really horrible place sometimes. And this is exactly an example of that. Although, obviously, she goes to innocent here. I can't even consider this one as a drama, since that would just be offensive to the word drama itself. This is just pure evil what it is. I saved this one for last, and for a good reason. I just want to say, if you're an easily disturbed person, I recommend you skip to this section of the video on the screen, or watch with caution. This one is just fucked up and sad, but let's get to the point. LockJawArts was a fursuit company owned by a couple called Tonya Dillard and Jacob Bekowitz. Tonya is also known as Vincent Dillard, since Tonya is a trans man, but I refer him as Tonya from the official police report. Although they obviously made fursuits and also some art, but whatever, I just can't bother with horrible people like this. I just want to move on to what they have done. In March 2020, they posted a fake dating ad on Craigslist, which their plan was to lure someone to their home, which they succeeded by luring someone called Hector Mendez Hernandez. Responded to the ad, and which the couple picked him up and they took him inside their residence, where they first robbed him and then did the most worst and evil thing you can ever do, which Jacob shot Hector 4 times. 2 of the shots hit his head, and somehow Tonya also got accidentally hit by one of the bullets on her finger. The victim was dragged to the bathroom, which the victim also got stabbed 25 times on his upper torso, and then beaten with a dumbbell, and allegedly he was still alive after all those attacks until he lost his life in the bathroom. And how they got caught was when Tonya sent a picture to her friend Paige, which they also skinned and killed a dog too, which disturbed Paige and called Tonya out for this disturbing behavior. Then Tonya sent a horrifying message: "If you think that is strange, I am sitting next to a dead body." Then Tonya also sent the picture of Hector's body. Paige immediately contacted the police, and the couple tried to escape from the police hiding in the woods but got caught. And yeah, I think the rest of the story plays out by itself. I'm not even going to comment on this one. We already know where this one is going. We can laugh and make fun of these people and all, but then we get to a case like this, then it's not even funny anymore. It is just depressing. It is just a depressing reminder of how horrible people can be. So now we have come to the end. I want to say that thank you all for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing and commenting down below the video. I have been very slow with uploading since I have ADHD and it is hard for me to concentrate on my tasks. This video shouldn't have been taking this long to make. It should have been done before the new year, but I do not take medication or anything, so it is just an annoying struggle, which I am still waiting for treatment for my mental condition. But mental health services here in Sweden are so ridiculously slow, and if you are a person that is struggling with inattentive ADHD like me and being unmedicated, you know how it feels. I know this is irrelevant to speak about, but I just wanted to say something personal, why it takes a while for me to upload videos. For a video like this, it shouldn't take almost 3 months to make. But regardless, thank you for watching and have a good day to you all.